I think most people believe they're living in reality, but they're not. So what do I mean by that? Right? I believe most people are living in what I call the mental overlay about reality. Right? The world itself is still here. So traditional reality, potentially trees, the wind, animals, our bodies, right? Gravity, right? But attention is rarely with any of that. With most people, it's always somewhere else, either in thought, in memory, in planning, in identity, in the story. And again, I don't mean any of that as a criticism. It's not a personal failure. It's because the nervous system, it learned how to survive by creating representations of reality and then slowly forgot the difference between the representation and the thing itself. Does that make sense? So we don't experience life directly. We experience our model of life. Hence, we're living in the overlay of reality. Some simple examples. Hopefully, these will be good ones. Money only works because we agree it means something. Time only exists as a way we measure change. Our reputations, which is always a funny thing to me, but reputations only exist in other people's minds, right? They're symbols, useful ones in some cases, but symbols nonetheless. And so over time, what I see is people's attention migrates into the symbolic world so completely that it starts to feel like that's where life is actually happening. And that's the overlay. So the problem is that we've created this overlay. The problem is that we've moved into it. And again, you can see this everywhere. Just the other day, I was out walking with my dogs and and you can see folks, right? Someone could walk past a tree that's been alive longer than any story that they believe about themselves, and they don't notice it. Someone could watch a sunset that required billions of years of physics to happen exactly the way that it happened, barely registers. Not because they don't care, because attention is occupied elsewhere. Replaying a conversation, managing an identity, solving a future that doesn't even exist yet. But under the overlay, reality is still here. We're just busy living somewhere else. Okay. And after a while, it's just interesting to witness how normal this feels.